What's good, everybody? This is WolfgangPeak, and you are now watching Wolfgang Lifestyle. Yeah. Alright, what the fuck is going on? Alright, you see it in the title. I'm about to go over my top 5 books. I'm going to say on self-improvement, self-development, shit like that. These are the books that I personally have read, and that I think I've got the most out of in my whole self-improvement journey and shit like that. As I'm still growing, but these is probably the top 5s that I've read so far. Alright, so stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy the content. Number 5, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Why? I say this book has a lot of information and insight on the way the world and people operate. As you can see, this shit got a lot of fucking wear and tear on it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I like to go back and look through it. I don't read the whole thing, but I go back through, certain laws and shit like that that I liked or that apply to whatever the situation I'm in. So I don't want to really call it a Bible, but I look at it religiously like that. I say my biggest, but before that, I say, if you're going to read 48 Laws of Power, I suggest you read The Laws of Human Nature as well, also by Robert Greene. I say read that first, and then read 48 Laws of Power. But really, you do whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? I say my biggest takeaway would be law number 4. We always say less than necessary. Basically, what he said was, when you're trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear. Right? And powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you would say something foolish, which is what you can see nowadays. The more you talk, the more you're trying to overcompensate for certain things. You might fuck around and say something that leads to your downfall, or say something foolish, whatever. So yeah, I think that's one of my biggest takeaways from it. So yeah, make sure you get it. 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene. Number 4, The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. I think that's how you say it. So I really like this. Why is this my number 4? I say it gives you an insight to all men to find their true purpose and to be authentically masculine, in your natural sense, you know what I'm saying? My biggest takeaway from this would be, I don't really think it's the chapter, but I think it's part 5. Part 5, your dark side, right? So wherever there is light, there is always your shadow side, right? But understanding that this side is you, and it is very natural, and it is much needed to being a complete man and allowing your energy to flow freely. So understanding your dark side. I think that part of the book has a lot of information that I'm not going to give it away. Just go read it. That's it. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to give it away. I'm just going to say go read it. All right. Number 3, Outwit the Devil by Napoleon Hill. This is one of my favorites, really. It's really one of my favorite books, right? And the other two on my list, this was a fight for my top 3. These was really in a close-knit fight. But Outwitting the Devil, I really, really, really like this book. So why do I like this? As with most Napoleon Hill books, this book is loaded with a lot of keys to unlocking your potential, finding your purpose, self-development, self-accountability, and one of the main standout quotes in this book to me was that the so-called devil he was interviewing, right? He said, one of my most cleverest devices is mind control. For mind control is fear, right? The fear of poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, age, and death. My biggest takeaway from this book is chapter 4, Drifting with the Devil, right? Excuse me. In a continued portion of the interview where he's with the devil, where he's interviewing the devil, he outlines his definition of the word drifter. I've broken this down in another video, but I'm going to say it here since this is what it's about. A drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind. In a summary, we become our own obstacle by allowing fear and things outside of our control to hinder our growth. Right? As I always say, you control the mind, you control the outcomes. It all starts up here. So check this book out, Napoleon Hill, Outwit the Devil. So yeah, it's a very good read. Highly recommended. Top 3. Number 2, also by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Right? Why is this number 2? Like I said, these top 3 was a close-knit fight, right? But this right here, I consider this book to be the blueprint on shaping your mindset to attract positivity and abundance to your life, right? Combining all the elements of mind, body, and spirit to create a so-called Bible of wealth attraction, right? My biggest takeaway would be chapter 12, right? Chapter 12, the subconscious mind. As while your conscious mind awakes and rests as you do, your subconscious mind never sleeps, always processing thoughts, memories, downloads from an infinite intelligence, right? Sounds like a lot of words, but you'll get it as you read it, right? In your subconscious mind, you may voluntarily plant the seed of a plan, thought, or purpose you desire to translate into its physical or monetary equivalent. Basically, by planting these, by speaking mantras and positivity and art of auto-suggestion into your subconscious mind, you're in the process of what they would refer to as manifesting, right? But these seeds must be mixed with desire and emotional feeling of faith, right? So it's not as much as you just saying these things. You have to actually feel it, believe it, and have faith that they will come to fruition, right? That is the art of the manifestation, of voluntarily planting these seeds into your subconscious, right? So in a summary, your thoughts create the reality, right? It's not so much as what you see is what you believe, but more so what you believe is what you'll see. Number fucking 1, The Wealthy Gardener by John Soford. Alright, I do not have this book with me right now. I have loaned it out to my brother. Shout out Mike. So, but yeah, he has my book right now. So, but this is my number fucking 1. Anybody who's ever talked to me on Instagram or whatever, and you ask me for a book recommendation, this is always my number 1. I will always recommend this book to whoever the fuck is, The Wealthy Gardener, right? Why I came across this book and why I picked this book, I actually came across this book on accident, right? Because I was reading the reviews and shit about the time I was starting putting new books in my cart. I was reading reviews and many people were saying this book was better than Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and also on par with Think and Grow Rich, right? So I already had Think and Grow Rich, but on the scale between Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I seen all the reviews was pointing to get this book, so that's what I did. And overall, to me personally, this book was a masterpiece of mixing real life examples of the author's experiences into metaphorical stories of fiction using the parable of the wealthy gardener. So, like I said, I recommend this book to anyone. If you ask me for a book recommendation, this is the number 1 book I always give you, right? My biggest takeaway from this, I don't have the book with me, but it's not really the chapter, but it's the part of the section of the book where he starts going over the 55 powers of wealth, right? In this section, he goes through the lessons and habits needed to create and understand not only wealth but prosperity. And in this portion of the book, I always reference the acorn quote, because so the acorn quote, the wealthy gardener was sitting in his office with his protege. His protege asked about an acorn that's on his desk. The wealthy gardener explains that within that acorn is the potential to become a great oak tree, right? But until that acorn is planted into the fertile soil, all it will ever be is just potential, right? And a summary that can resonate with all of us. We all have the potential to become something special, but until we take the risks, prepare for the opportunities, and break out of our comfort zones, all we will ever be is just potential, right? And you plant yourself into the fertile soil of new experiences, right? So yeah, number one, wealthy gardener, go get that. Definitely recommend to all. Bonus tip of this, I'm going to add one more book to the list. Shout out my bro, Invader Supreme. One of his top books that he recommends is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, right? So I have not personally read it myself, but it's going to be next up in my books list. I will leave the link and all the information that he did on his review to that in the description below. So make sure you go watch his video on his takeaways and his review of David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. And be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and join Invader Nation over there. Alright? So that's all I got for y'all. Those are my top 5 books. And, you know, any questions, comments, shit like that, video topics, you know what to do. Email me, hit me on IG, blah, blah, blah. Like, comment, subscribe, or dislike. You know, I really don't give a shit. And this is Wolfgang Lifestyle. We out.